finessed it. I finessed it.
Hey everybody, so today I'm filming a labor and delivery story time. I gave birth to my daughter 6 months ago, and she was born VBAC, so that means I had a vaginal slash natural delivery after having a C-section the first time with my son. His story is a bit longer, so if you guys want me to tell you that story, comment down below. Otherwise, let's just get into the video. Quick disclaimer, baby girl is right here playing with her toys, so if you hear any noise, that's what you're hearing. I hope it's not louder than me though, because I don't want to refilm this. But anyways, let's get started from the jump. So she was due on August 26, 2020, and she came at 36 weeks on August 4th. So she was born kind of early. She was 5 pounds, and she's still tiny right now. Like, she's 6 months old now, and she's still tiny. So, but she's smart. She's doing everything she needs to do. So, yes. Anyways. On August 3rd, 2020, it was about 4 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And so this is TMI, but me and her dad, my boyfriend or whatever, we were getting ready to have sex because, you know, it was getting to the end of my pregnancy and I wanted to do everything I could to possibly get her out. But I didn't think that it was going to happen at 36 weeks because with my son, I tried absolutely everything and nothing worked. I ended up being induced and having to have an emergency C-section. So I wanted to start early with her just to make sure I went into labor on time. But before we had sex, I had to go to the bathroom and I was peeing. And then I realized that I was still peeing, but I wasn't peeing anymore. So like it felt like I was peeing, you guys, but it was like it wasn't coming out. It didn't feel like pee, like, if that makes sense. It was just coming out uncontrollably. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I walked back in the room like, oh my gosh, babe, like there is water everywhere. It's just spilling on the floor. We can hear it smacking onto the floor. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm spilling. So my son, he was at daycare and we were getting ready to go pick him up actually because we both had just came home and we were gonna stop home, drop off the groceries, you know, have a little us time and then go pick him up. We're going to go pick him up after we had some us time and yeah. So what ended up having to happen is I knew I was in labor and I knew my water broke, but we had to sort things out with my son. So my boyfriend dropped me off at the hospital because if you've ever been in labor, you know that you got to go through the, I don't know what it's called, like triage, not triage. It's like the assessment room where they determine if you're in labor or not. So I went to that room and my son's daycare was conveniently just down the street. So he dropped me off at the hospital, picked up my son, and then dropped my son off with his mom. So we could both be at the hospital together, of course. So after all that, by the time he came back, I was still in the other room. I don't know why they were taking so long. Oh yeah, because I had to take a COVID test. So they made me do a COVID test before they admitted me to my room. I didn't have COVID, so all that went through. Obviously, my water broke. We didn't have to do any extra testing for that. But yeah, so we did that. Then we went to the room that I got admitted to. He came just in time. So basically her whole delivery process was so easy. Like, you guys, I was really preparing myself for the worst because I know you guys can probably hear him yelling. I was literally preparing for the worst because my son had the most craziest labor and delivery experience. Again, if you guys want me to go into detail about that, let me know. But guys, it was just terrible. Like, I was traumatized from having my son. So this time, everything went so smooth. Like, I went into the labor and delivery room. I had contractions, but they really, like, they started hurting. I'm not even gonna lie. But it wasn't that bad. Like, I didn't even need medicine for it. I'm not gonna lie, I did take their little drugs they had. It was some kind of laughing gas of some sort that had me so high. Like, I was in labor, just, I was high, I was crying. I was like, babe, I love you so much. Crying. But I didn't get the epidural because it really did not hurt that bad. Like, I'm telling you guys, it felt like cramps, like period cramps. And them doses that were doing something to my brain were just making me so loopy. I really didn't even care about epidural. So moving forward, after that, so I was in labor for 14 hours. I went in there about 4, and I didn't have her until 6:45 a.m. the next morning. And let's say hi. 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 So she came out, and it really didn't hurt that bad. Like, when she started coming out, I literally was like, oh my gosh, I'm pushing a baby out. I started crying immediately because with my son, I had a C-section, so I really thought it was going to end in an emergency C-section. Again, like, I did not think that I could push a baby out. I really just thought I was incapable of doing that for some reason. So when she came out, I felt her warm little body squirming on me. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. And I was so happy. She was so tiny, you guys. Like, I'm talking about miniature. Say, I was so tiny. She was so tiny. She was 5 pounds, 8 ounces. We were in the hospital for 1 day. We got out quick. It was really smooth and easy and peaceful. I also, for pain, I used aromatherapy, which was awesome. I used lavender to calm me, and I was just talking with the nurse. My boyfriend was there the whole time. He had a towel on my head. He held my leg. He was walking around with me, bouncing on the ball. So we were just basically taking naps and watching movies the whole labor process. And delivering her was so easy. Yeah. So I'll make sure to insert pictures for you guys because I know this is such a short video. But if you guys want a detailed labor and delivery about my son, let me know because his is way more extreme. And I just wanted to put this video out there for all the moms who have had C-sections before and aren't sure like if they always have to have a C-section or if natural birth is an option. And I'm telling you guys right now that it is an option for you. Well, I can't tell you that because I'm not a doctor, but if you didn't really have serious health issues with your pregnancy and it was an emergency C-section, which mine was an emergency C-section because my son, he was facing the other way, so we didn't know until I was in labor, but we had to go about that like at the end of my pregnancy. Like, we had no idea he was facing the wrong way until I was already pushing him out. Then they did an ultrasound and they seen that he was facing the other way, so we had to just rush to the C-section. But that's a whole other story. I'll go into detail like I said in another video. But I didn't have any health problems, so it didn't affect me delivering her regular at all. So I know after having my son, I was so emotional. I thought like, oh my gosh, I'm not even a real mother. Like, it's emotional thoughts that go through your head after having a baby. I know it's not true, but I felt really bad about myself when I had my son like that. So this, having her so peacefully and so calmly and just so everything was smooth, it really, she made me want to just keep doing it, and it made me understand that all pregnancies and babies are different. So don't get discouraged, mamas. If you had a C-section, there are options out there. Just talk to your guys' doctor. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this short labor and delivery story. like I said, comment down below if you guys like story times and want some more. Any other ideas, also leave those down in the comments because I'm open to all ideas. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification button so you don't miss a beat. And drop a thumbs up because, yeah, why not? Just drop a thumbs up. Even if you don't like it. Say, even if you don't like it, drop a thumbs up. Drop a thumbs up. Alright, say bye.
You in every day, I'm not far away. This is what I'm up. Last night, I prayed on a falling star that you'll never have a broken heart. Though the world